Yo, what's up, Pisces? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of July 2018. Pisces, a lot of important astrology happening once again this month. We've got Chiron, which is going to be going retrograde, and then we've got Jupiter, which is going to be going direct, and then there is a new moon partial solar eclipse that's going to be occurring mid-month, and then we've got Mercury, which is going to go direct, and then we finish off the month with the full moon total lunar eclipse, and the sun is going to be in an area for you, Pisces, throughout the month. July 2018. It has to do with having fun. It has to do with romance. It has to do with creativity. So all of these are going to be more of a theme in your life throughout the month of July 2018. So have fun, Pisces. Do what you enjoy. Stop thinking about work so much. Maybe some of you are too wrapped up in work because, at the end of the month, the sun is going to shift on July 22nd. It's going to shift into an area that has to do with your work life. So yeah, things are going to get busier than usual following July 26th on the work front. So, after July 22nd when the sun shifts. So throughout the first 3 weeks of July, you should definitely focus on romance. You should definitely focus on having a good time. If you're an artist, then focus on some of your creative endeavors. And then when the sun shifts on July 22nd, it's time to put your work hat on. You might see an increase in your workload, and others of you might start to step up your fitness game. But those are the main themes for you, Pisces, for the month of July 2018. Now I'm going to talk about some more specific major astrological events that are set to occur this month and what they mean for you. Right off the bat, on July 2nd, Mercury will aspect Saturn, which is retrograding. And this one has to do with making some adjustments in the workplace. And this one specifically has to do with some of you Pisces might be like on your phone too much at work, or potentially like too much on social media, or you're focusing on what's happening on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter when you should probably be focusing on your work. So there's plenty of other stuff that you can do in your work life besides go on social media or look at something on the internet. So see where else you can be productive when it comes to your work life. Now, for others of you, this has to do with making some adjustments regarding your fitness routine. If you're a Pisces that's already a fitness guru, then obviously, this is you making adjustments within your existing fitness routine. If you're a Pisces that doesn't really work out much, then maybe this is something that you want to start to consider. So it's important to have a certain amount of exercise in your life, and others of you might be making some adjustments to your diet. On July 5th, Chiron's going to start to go retrograde, and it's retrograding in your sector of income. So, some of you might be trying to think about what you want to do regarding your money. So this might have to do with a money-related decision, and Chiron's going to be retrograding in this area all the way up until September 25th, and then it's going to shift backwards into your sign. I mean, it obviously doesn't really move backwards, but it looks like it is when it's retrograding. But it's going to go back into your sign on September 25th. It's going to retrograde in your sign until December 9th. It's going to start to move forward again. But let's talk about what it means from July 5th to September 25th when it's retrograding your sector of income. So, take your time when it comes to making a money-related decision. And now others of you might be making too big of a deal about something that has to do with your money. So, Chiron could indicate, that you are making way too big of a deal that has with something that has to do with your monetary situation. On July 10th, Jupiter will start to move forward again, and this is a great one for spiritual expansion. So broadening your spiritual horizons, and you already are naturally a spiritual person. So for you to pick up a spiritual subject, I mean, you could really understand it easily. And if you're watching this video, then most likely you're more into an alternative method of spirituality, such as astrology, numerology, or tarot. Other Pisces who aren't watching this video, obviously they might be getting more into like an organized religion of some sort, but this is good for spiritual development and spiritual growth. So Jupiter's going to move forward following July 10th, and it's going to be in this area until November 2018. So a lot of time for you to broaden your spiritual horizons. Now, for others of you, this might have to do with going somewhere far away. I'm not saying you all will, but it's a very specific thing to go to a distant location, but this is a great time to do it. So between July 10th and until November 2018, while Jupiter's in this area, this is a good time for you to go somewhere far away, Pisces. And, for others of you, like I said, if this doesn't have to do with a faraway place, then this is more about a metaphysical journey. On July 12th, there's a new moon partial solar eclipse, and this is going to bring some fresh energy to your love life. So I'm not saying that someone's going to definitely come into your life for romance following the new moon solar eclipse on July 12th, but they might, and if you make the effort, then maybe they will. And, if you're coupled up already, then this is going to, like I said previously, this is going to bring some fresh energy to your love alliance. Now, if this doesn't have to do with your love life, then this might have to do with something creative. So, a lot of you Pisces are artists, or you do have artistic ability and creative abilities. And, this isn't really a normal new moon. This is a partial solar eclipse, so its effects resonate for a longer time. Normal new moon usually lasts about 6 months, but this is the partial solar eclipse, so it's going to last 6 months to a year. So, you have a lot of time to really build something when it comes to a creative endeavor, or you can really build something up when it comes to your love life. On July 16th, Venus will aspect Mars, which is retrograding. And some of you might be making some adjustments behind the scenes in your love alliance, especially if you're coupled up already. And, others of you, like if you're single, you might have had a secret attraction for one person, but, now all of a sudden you might be changing direction regarding who you're secretly attracted to. Others of you can work on something creative behind the scenes here. On July 20th, Saturn is retrograding, and it will aspect Neptune, which is also going to be retrograding in your sign. So this one has to do with potentially some of you might reconnect with friendships that you haven't seen in quite some time, because Saturn is retrograding in your sector of friendships. And Saturn suggests something long term, so potentially some of you might be reconnecting with friendships who you used to really be close with these people. And potentially maybe it's been quite some time since you've seen these people. And if this really wasn't your plan, then maybe this is a good time, Pisces. Maybe this is really a good time for you, to get in touch with those people who you haven't seen, those friendships that you haven't seen in quite some time, and maybe arrange some sort of get together, because there is some sort of social activity that is highlighted right around July 20th under this influence. Now, there is a bit of sincerity that comes with it. So sometimes when you think about getting together with friendships, it's like, it's more like upbeat and, lighthearted. And I'm not saying that that's not the way it's going to be, but Saturn's there. So Saturn suggests maybe there's some sincerity that's, maybe some of you are for retrograde, are for reconnecting with some friendships that you haven't seen in quite some time. And, maybe you're more interested in the sincere things that are happening in their lives, or vice versa. Maybe they're interested in, what's more sincere about you. So you might notice something like that right around July 20th. On July 22nd, Venus will aspect Jupiter positively. And this one is good for going somewhere far away with someone who you're in a relationship with. And, I'm not saying that that's really going to happen. Some of you might do that. And, if you don't have anything planned yet, then, maybe the end of July is a good time for you and your significant other to maybe take a vacation somewhere. Or maybe, some of you maybe even got back from a vacation, or you're currently on one while you're watching it, or you're planning on one in the future. So there is something highlighted here about distant locations and relationship. And sometimes I think about this for those single Pisces. It's like, maybe you can connect with somebody who's from a faraway place. So maybe Pisces, maybe the right person for you is someone who comes from a distant location, or maybe if they're not from a distant location, they might be from a cultural background that's different from yours, or they might have some sort of prominent heritage. Or this person might be a really good fit for you. And for others of you, you might be attracted to a spiritual figure, and you are a naturally spiritual person, so someone like this could really fit with you well. And on July 26th, Mercury will start to retrograde, and this one might cause some communication problems in your work. So, Mercury can be a bit mischievous when it goes retrograding your work. Like, you can see computers acting funny, or software not operating properly, or you have issues with electronics and stuff like that. And potentially there might be some kind of misunderstandings in your workplace potentially. So I think this is just a temporary influence. I don't think it's anything too serious. I mean, Mercury retrograde is a very brief influence. You have the shadow period, which comes up, it usually takes place 3 weeks before and after the actual retrograde cycle. So, if you look at it in terms of shadow periods, it can be quite a longer cycle, but it's not really like anything that's going to have too much of an effect. I mean, you might see some communication delays, or something might get stuck or delayed regarding communication in your work life. Others of you might not be able to hit your fitness goals like the way you want to, because this, Mercury's going to be retrograding in a sector that has to do with fitness or health. So, some of you might see something about a previous health matter that might come back up, and you might see this happen while Mercury's retrograding between July 26th until August 19th. Now, following August 19th, I feel like things should smooth out. And then on July 27th, there's a full moon total lunar eclipse. And this has to do with, different things for each of you. Some of you getting totally fascinated by the esoteric arts, astrology, numerology, tarot. Others of you might be thinking about a secret that you have in your life a lot. So, potentially this could... you could start to have this secret on your mind more following July 27th. And, for a select few of you, I'm not saying all Pisces are going to be closing the door on a chapter of their lives, but, this total lunar eclipse is hitting in your sector of letting go. So, like I said, it's a very specific thing to say that Pisces is going to have to let go of something, but some of you really are ready to close the chapter of your life, and this is the time to do it where this full moon total lunar eclipse is hitting. But thank you very much, Pisces, for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram as Gregory Furlan Astrology. Thank you for watching. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.